Hey gang, Doug here at Iron Village Gym out in Massachusetts. So we're going to show you, I'm going to get right into it and show you the first 4-movement circuit for this routine. So some things we're going to focus on are some rotational strength, core strength if you will, and then a lot of shoulder injury prevention or injury proofing we like to call it here, shoulder endurance work as well as strength work for the cuff and all those muscles up into the shoulder joint, okay? So first one, we're going to anchor down. And as you know, total gym veterans know, you can either be seated here with my butt down on my heels for a little more stability. I can be up here, so I'm at a high or tall kneeling position, which makes things a little bit more challenging from a stability standpoint. For demo purposes, I'm going to stay seated, just so I don't fall. So first exercise, we're going to call it this a Scarecrow exercise. Basically what we're going to do, lift the elbows up here, going to focus on keeping a 90-degree bend at the elbow, and I'm just going to externally rotate to have the palms of my hands facing forward, okay? So I'm going to bring the elbows up, 90 degrees at the bend, extend them back, so I've got that nice external rotation, and then bring them back down. I'm trying to keep the elbows up. I don't want to necessarily have my shoulders creep up near the ears, so keep those shoulders down, but the elbows are up high, okay? So I'll show a few reps. Here to here. We're controlling the movement in both directions, so we don't want it necessarily slack at any point. Slow and controlled. So there's always tension on those muscles, okay? 10 reps of those, then we're going to go right into a rotational movement. So I'm going to anchor down again. Same thing, I'm going to keep this low kneeling position. And there's a couple of variations of rotations. Again, I'll just show one here. So I'm going to hold both handles, palms here. I'm going to come across the body, control each direction, okay? And what I'm trying to focus on here is I want you to think about turning more from the shoulders and the core, if you will, overused term a little bit, but turning from the midsection as opposed to, I'll show kind of bad form first. I'm just kind of arming the movement, but see my shoulders are kind of just facing that way, as opposed to arms more along for the ride is a cue I like to use. Turn from here, from the torso, from the shoulders, arms are along for the ride. So now my shoulders are facing that way. I get a lot more focus on the midsection, the obliques more specifically, and it's a much more effective exercise for the midsection, okay? So 10 reps per side on those. Then we're gonna let the handles go. Unhook here, get a lower body movement in. So when it comes to boxing especially, shoulders are huge. I've worked with a lot of boxers and MMA athletes over the years, and a lot of them have imbalances up into the shoulder joint area. A lot of injuries take place there. So we need to work on scarecrows and certain things to help, like I said, injury proof, but also build some endurance. So this is kind of a 2-for-1, if you will. We're going to do a reverse lunge. That'll work obviously the lower body, the glute, quad, hamstrings. But holding a plate or a weight, any sort of weight, doesn't have to be a plate, of course, you use a medicine ball, whatever you have handy. Trying to keep the arms extended is going to develop some endurance. So I've got a 25-pound plate, which might be a little aggressive, but I'll show a few reps. So we're going to get in the lunge position. Okay, and as I go back, I'm going to keep these arms extended out. Head up, chest up. Okay, so you do eight per leg is good on those. See the arms stay extended to really work those shoulders. As I bring that leg back, in this example, it was the right glute and quad that are doing a lot of the work. Get a nice hip flexor stretch on that left side. So there's a lot of good stuff going on there. And in this circuit style routine, so we get the 2 here, the reverse lunge, and then you come right off. The only other piece of equipment you really need is a jump rope. Oop, good start. And then you're just going to hop on, have a timer, and you're just going to move for 2 minutes. Okay? So in this circuit, 2 minutes here on the rope, then I would towel off, grab some water, and then start again. I always like to time my circuits, so that way, say it took, however, just come up with a number, 8 minutes total, towel off, water up, start again, and try to stay consistent. Either hit 8 minutes again, try to hit 7:55, something like that, so you can track your progress and just make sure that you're working to your potential. All right, here's circuit number 2, gang. We're gonna get right into another shoulder exercise here. So I've got myself set up here on the low kneeling position. I'm going to hold on to both handles, and we're going to get a diagonal reach here. So I'm going to take the outside hand. Okay, I'm going to reach up and across the body, and then slowly bring it back down under control. Trying to keep this arm relatively straight. A slight bend is fine, but what I don't want for this particular exercise is for you to pull it here and then extend out almost like a tricep extension. Not that that's wrong, but that's not what I want for this particular movement. That's going to target a little bit more tricep back of the arm, where I'm trying to focus on more of the rear delt and the delt, so more into that shoulder region here. I'm going to hold on here, so this side's working a little bit as well. Okay, you don't necessarily have to, but again, trying to work both sides a little bit as much as possible. So holding on here, so we've got this side working, but this is the prime mover, across the body, and I don't mind a little bit of rotation here, so shoulders are facing the tower, and then bring it up and across the body under control, okay? So what you would do here, for demo, I'm just gonna do one side, but you bang out 10 there and then just turn yourself around, okay, and get 10 on the other side, okay? After that, you're gonna go, once you get both sides, you're gonna come seated, handles underneath the armpits, okay, in this position here, thumbs under. Any sort of seated position that's comfortable for you is fine with me. I'm gonna go cross-legged today, and we're gonna get 10 reps on one side and then switch 10 on the other, okay? Nothing wrong with alternating, but since we did the unilateral, that diagonal reach, we did 10 on one, 10 on the other. For consistency, we're gonna keep that pattern. So I did the right arm, then the left side, so I would do the right arm and the left side here. Okay, coming straight across, straight out, okay? Finishing with full extension here, all right? After that, gonna scoot down a little bit. Now this version of the leg lift, on my head near the top of the board, arms are gonna try and stay straight. So for this version, my goal is to try to keep the arms from moving as very little as possible. All the movement's gonna come from the legs to really target those abs. So with the hands, I'm gonna actively be pressing your hands into the handles. Okay, legs are gonna come up to about perpendicular with the ground, and then I'm gonna lower them straight down. So again, my goal isn't really to move the hands that much. Just trying to get feet as close to hands as possible. You can lift the head and shoulders just a little bit, and that's going to target those abs a little bit more. But it doesn't take too many to get that midsection quivering a little bit. So after 10 of those, and obviously just to explain why these are kind of boxing specific, you know, obviously that first one, shoulder health, which I've been harping on this whole clip. Then a one arm chest press, just for some rotary stability, but also some shoulder, a little bit of chest and tricep strength. Core work, any sort of ab specific work is obviously great for boxers, for everybody in general. That's not necessarily a sport specific thing, that's just an individual, a person, a human specific thing. And then, like the first circuit, we're gonna finish up with 2 minutes of just a little bit of jump rope, just to what I mentioned in the article. Great for boxers, great for everybody, but great for wrist, shoulder health, and just timing, coordination. You always want to be on the balls of your feet when you're in the ring. So just to get that rhythm and that patterning down is a really effective movement for boxers.